All right, in this video, now that we've got our basic wall floor plan done, I'm going to go ahead and add a post here. If you look at the image, we do see a post that is a structural post holding up part of the roof and the ceiling above. So we're going to make that, add that to our wall group, and kind of make a triangle on each side that's going to form our gable. Okay, from that triangle, we'll be able to create a roof. Okay, that'll be in the next video. So let's start with our post. So to do that, I want to find the exact outside of this post. So I'm going to take my tape measure tool and I'm going to just kind of click somewhere on this wall and then move over and click again. And what that's going to do is create a nice little guideline that's perfectly in line with this front of the house. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Just click again. Now I've got an exact position of the outside. Very important to not skip that step. We want to keep everything in line. All right, so hopefully you're predicting that I'm going to the rectangle tool next. I'm going to click on that intersection I just made, move it out. You can see it's going to be about 8 inches. So I'm going to just go ahead and type 8 comma, oops, that was not a comma, 8 comma 8, enter. And then I'm going to push pull that up. Okay, push pull that up. When I double clicked, it went to 8 feet. If it doesn't for you, you just simply pull it up and type in 8 feet, enter. Okay, and next, what I need to do is group all this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my tags. I'm going to unvisualize the image. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my select tool and select all around all of this. You'll notice that all the walls and my post are now selected. I'm going to right click on them, make group. Okay, so now they're all one group. And where I had walls as a tag before, notice now it says current tag is untagged. So go ahead and click on that and change it to walls. Okay, so now this is all one group. So if I edit it, I'm going to have to reactivate the entire group no matter where I am. Okay, so hopefully you remember when you want to reactivate. Let me move this out of the way. I'm going to close this menu. All right, hopefully, oh, actually, I need to get my image back. Let me get that back. Okay, to reactivate the wall group, what I need to do is click anywhere here and double click it. And you'll see that it puts that big kind of rectangle around it. If you don't do that, you're going to be drawing something that is a new geometry, but that's not going to work for us. We're actually going to raise a triangle on each side, so we need to be on the wall geometry. All right, so that's where I am now. All right, so turn to your side. I'm turning to the porch side. You might as well do the same. Go to your pencil tool, and we're going to draw a line from corner to the front post corner, okay? And this is going to serve as the edge of our ceiling. So my ceiling is going to be about 10 inches thick. So I'm going to go ahead and draw from this edge here. I'm going up this blue axis here, and I'm going to type in 10, enter. And you'll see it makes a little point there. I'm going to go all the way across to this other side. You'll notice that it kind of lines up for me there, and then down. All right, so I've created a plane that's going to act as my ceiling. Next, I'm going to build above that plane a triangle that's going to form the contours of the roof. Okay, so one of your first questions should be, okay, so if I want to do a roof, how do I know what angle to put it at? Well, if you go to the floor plan and scroll down, a lot of times they'll tell you the pitch of the roof or the slope of the roof. In this case, if you look here, we've got the roof with a primary pitch of 612. 612 is seen as rise over run, meaning you go up 6 and out 12, okay? Whether that's inches, feet, or otherwise, that is your pitch. So up 6 and out 12 is our pitch or our slope, okay? So to do that, we're going to use a new line. So before I do anything, I want to find the center point of this new line I created. You notice as I hover here, it shows a center point. So I'm going to use my tape measure tool, grab somewhere over here, like on this midpoint here, not down here, but up here. And I'm going to move over until it snaps to that middle point right there. For me, it's about 14 foot 10 inches. Depending on how you drew this, you may be slightly different, but the point is you get that little midpoint mark and click it. Okay, so now I know exactly where the center of my ridge is going to be, somewhere up here. All right, so let's go ahead and use that 612 pitch to make a triangle that's going to form our roof. All right, so I'm going to go to the line tool. I'm going to start at this corner. You could start from the front, but let's start from the back. Click and start moving along that line. So I'm going to just simply move it over a distance, and then I'm going to let go of my mouse and type in 12 feet, enter. Okay, and so what that's done, it's hard to see because it's drawn on top of another line, but you can see right around here, it kind of snaps and it even shows 12 feet. So I've made my run of 12 feet from the corner. Now I need to make my rise 6 feet up. Okay, so click there, make sure it stays blue. It's very, very crucial. Do not let it go black or red or any other color. Go up blue, just kind of go up a little ways and then type in 6 feet, enter. And now you've got a 6 foot line up above where that 12 foot ended. So now I can simply connect back to my corner, and now I've got a perfect 12 by 6 pitch. Okay, and that's going to be the basis of our entire roof. Okay, now you might be wondering, well, why didn't you draw it all the way to the center line? And that's a good question. The reason I didn't yet is because I was focusing on the pitch first. Now that I have the pitch established with a 612 run, I'm going to extend those lines. So I'm going to extend this up, make sure it stays purple, okay? It's real easy to make it look red, but that's actually drawing outward. I need it to stay purple and extend it up until it snaps to that line you made earlier, okay, that guideline. Click it, and then simply draw down to complete the triangle. Now, I can erase this extra line, and I've got a perfectly sloped triangle going to the exact midpoint of the roof, and that is really good to have, okay? So I want to duplicate this to the other side. I could go through the whole process again, and in fact, one easy thing to do would be to draw this and flip it and move it to the other side, but because we know this is at the midpoint here, I can simply take a line and draw it down to here. Okay, and now I've got a perfect triangle on both sides. All right, and I can delete my extra line in the middle. Okay, this is going to be a very valuable triangle to have going forward. All right, so you'll notice that it's only the thickness of the line itself. We need it to be the thickness of the wall. Before I do that, I want to take this whole thing and I want to make a copy of it and move it to the other side of my cabin. Okay, and that includes the ceiling itself. All right, so I'm actually going to turn this direction. I'm going to go to my select tool. I'm going to double click this top triangle. I'm going to hold down the shift key on my keyboard and double click that rectangle. Okay, now I've got them both selected. Now, if I take my move tool right here, I can zoom in, grab this corner right there, and start moving it. Now watch what happens. As I move it, it's distorting everything. That's because it's trying to move everything it's connected to. To let it go and make a copy of it, I simply tap the control key on my keyboard. Tap it, and now it's made a copy. Okay, so it's no longer going to attach to anything. Now I simply move my cursor over to this opposite corner and click. Now I've got that exact triangle on the other side. And I know I did it right because look, it even matches up on this side. Okay, so let's give some depth to this with the push-pull tool. I'm going to worry about whether or not the spaces need to be reversed later, but for now, I'm going to go to the push-pull tool. All right, so I'm going to click the select tool and click anywhere to unselect that. I do need to double-click the house again, all right, because that's going to reactivate this group. Make sure you do that during this whole time. You should have this square or this rectangle drawn around it. And go to your push-pull tool. The first thing we're going to push-pull is the rectangle, and we're just simply going to push-pull it to this edge. And then don't worry about this little lip here. That's going to get fixed later. And then here, I'm going to push-pull also to that edge, okay? So then I'm going to turn this way and do the same thing. Push-pull to here and push-pull to here, okay? So now you can start to see what's going on here. We're getting kind of a finished look to this. I'm going to leave these lines for now because they're not going to hurt anything. And I need to make sure that the colors are the correct ones. So in my case, it's white and white, so that's good. And on this side, it's white and white, and that's good too. If for some reason yours looks like this, grayed out like that, just simply right-click on it and choose Reverse Faces, and it'll fix it. Okay, so now that we've added these walls, they're part of the wall group. So if I go to my tags, I can unvisualize the walls. Oop, I got to unvisualize the image. I have to actually select out of the walls first. All right, now if I unvisualize the walls, you'll notice that because I added them to my wall group, they're automatically tagged and added to the group, so I don't have to do anything extra, okay? From this information, in our next video, we are going to create our ceiling to drag across, and we're going to drag a roof surface across that as well, and everything in the middle will just become attic. So one more thing I want you to do before we finish up for this video is I want you to put your name in 3D text on this, okay? So to start, go to your menu down here, and we're going to look for this little 3D text symbol here. So click on that, and then I want you to type your name. For me, I'm going to type Mr. Black. Click OK, and I'm going to simply move it somewhere here in the front, okay, maybe over here. You do the same, type your first and last name. Then what I need you to do is select outside of the box, and then that'll kind of take care of it. So let's unvisualize image, unvisualize walls, and we're going to select our name, right-click on it, and then under entity info, we're going to change it from untagged to image. And that way we can turn it on and off with everything else. Image, walls. Okay, so save your work, and you're ready for the next video where we do the ceiling and the roof.